Hey everybody, I'm Scott. Welcome to my video today. It's about the art of the initial conversation. The first 90 seconds of your conversation with a potential recruit is going to determine whether they lean in or look for the exit. So welcome back to our Network Marketing Success Series. Once again, I'm Scott. Today we're going to master the art of the initial conversation. It's the make it or break it moment in your whole recruiting process, believe it or not. Top recruiters like Worre, Frazer, they know that recruiting is not about fancy presentations or complex strategies. It's about mastering those crucial first moments of conversation that open the door to everything else. So by the end of this video, you're going to have a proven framework for these critical first interactions that build instant rapport, they create curiosity, and they can smoothly transition into the opportunity discussions without awkwardness or rejection. Now, before we dive into what to say, let's understand what's happening psychologically in those first moments, okay? Now, when you approach someone about your opportunity, their brain is making split-second decisions. Some of those are, hey, is this person genuine, or are they just trying to sell me something? Will this conversation benefit me, or is this going to waste my time? Can I really trust this person? These are all things that are going on inside people's heads, right? These judgments, they happen in seconds, many times before you've even finished your first sentence. That's why memorized scripts often fail, because people sense the inauthenticity immediately. So instead, what top recruiters focus on are three psychological principles, okay? First step is always authenticity, and that's being genuinely interested in the other person. Second is value exchange, giving before asking. And the third is social proof. You want to subtly just demonstrate your credibility. So when you align your approach with these principles, resistance drops dramatically. Now, let's break down the perfect initial conversation into 5 key components, okay? Step 1 is the connection component. Now, the first 10 to 15 seconds should be about authentic connection, not business, okay? Too many people jump right into the sales pitch. So in person, this might be a genuine compliment or an observation. Hey, I really love your energy, the way you light up a room, or that's really an interesting perspective. I hadn't thought about it that way. Now, online, it's a little bit different, okay? It's about personalized outreach. I noticed we both follow and then, share a page or a person that you both follow. Your comment about mindset really resonated with me. The key is specificity and authenticity, okay? Generic compliments, what they do is they sound like manipulation. But if you point out something that they actually did or something that you actually have in common, it's much different. Now, step 2 is the curiosity bridge. After connection, you want to create curiosity with a bridge statement that hints at opportunity without revealing everything. Frazer calls this the curiosity gap. So you're providing just enough information to spark interest, but not enough to satisfy it. All right? Some effective curiosity bridges include, I've been working on something interesting recently that made me think of you. Or, I noticed from your profile that you really value freedom or growth or whatever. That's actually connected to a project I'm involved with. Or a third approach, something you mentioned about and then mentioned their comment or something that you've seen on social media. It reminds me of an opportunity that's been working well for people with your background. So the key is implying potential value without jumping straight to your offer or your opportunity. Now, step 3 is permission-based transition. This is a critical step, and it's where a lot of network marketers fail. So before presenting your opportunity, you want to ask permission. What Worre teaches is that permission questions reduce resistance because they give the prospect control. Hey, would you be interested or open to taking a look if I shared some information? Or, I'm not sure if this is going to be a good fit for you, but would you be open to learning more? This might not be for you, but I'd love your opinion on something I'm working on. Would that be okay? Notice these permission questions, okay? They acknowledge that it might not be for them, which reduces pressure. They put them in the position of evaluator, not prospect, and they create a yes momentum. Now, step 4 is value-based framing. Once you have permission, then you want to frame your opportunity in terms of what matters to them, not generic benefits. This requires knowing or discovering what motivates your prospect, okay? See how you really have to get to know people. Is they motivated by financial freedom, by time flexibility, by personal development, by belonging to a community, by recognition and achievement, maybe a little bit of all of them. So for example, for someone motivated by family time, I was looking for something that would allow me to be present for my kids while still building something meaningful. For someone motivated by achievement, what attracted me was the ability to build something where my results directly reflected my effort. The key is in tailoring your framework to their specific motivators. Understand? Now, once you get through that, step 5 is clear. Give them a clear next step, and with a specific, easy to accept next step, not a commitment to join. Type recruiters, they never try to recruit in that initial conversation. Instead, they suggest a specific video presentation or a call. They provide a clear time frame, and they make it very, very easy to say yes. For example, hey, I could share a 12-minute video that explains this much better than I can. Would you prefer I text you the link, or should we watch it together? Or another approach, we have a 30-minute overview call tomorrow at 7. I can introduce you to some of the team, and you can ask any questions you have. Would that work for you? The ideal next step is always very, very low commitment, less than a half hour. It's specific and it's scheduled, and it provides more information without requiring a decision. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid. Now that you know the framework, there are always, very, very common mistakes that kind of derail those initial conversations. Number 1 is the product dump. Overwhelming your prospects with features and benefits before establishing whether they're even interested at all. The second mistake is the money focus. Leading with income claims or financial opportunities, that triggers skepticism. Especially in today's world, people are very skeptical. And number 3 is the surprise attack. Blindsiding friends with business conversations without a proper transition. Another common mistake is the one-size-fits-all approach. So if you use identical scripts regardless of the prospect's personality or interest, that's going to be, a downfall or a pitfall. Number 5 is the pressure close, trying to get commitment in that first conversation instead of focusing on the next step. Each of these mistakes, what they do is they trigger psychological resistance that can be very, very hard to overcome. Now, let's recap the benefits of the entire framework, okay? What it does is it authentically establishes a connection. It creates curiosity without over-revealing. Then you ask permission before proceeding. Then what you do is you frame the opportunity around the prospect's interest, okay? You want to suggest a clear, low-commitment next step. Now, what happens when you use this framework is these conversations feel natural because they focus on the prospect and not the opportunity. Now, very important here, okay? Like any skill, the art of the initial conversation requires practice. Here are 3 ways that you can master this approach, okay? Step number 1, or one way, is to use the mirror exercise. You can record yourself practicing your approach and watch it back. Does it feel authentic and real? Where do you sound scripted? Number 2 is the interest inventory. Make a list of 20 different interest areas or motivations and practice framing your opportunity for each one. In reality, there might only be 5 that you need to use over and over. 3 is the 5-second rule practice. Condensing your curiosity bridge to just 5 seconds. Can you create interest with maximum brevity? Now, to help you implement these exercises, I've actually created a comprehensive initial conversation workbook. You can download it for free using the link in the description, all right? The art of the initial conversation, it's not all about clever words or manipulation. It's about creating authentic connections that open doors. If you can master this framework, then you will never again struggle with awkward recruiting attempts or fear of rejection, all right? Go ahead, download that initial conversation workbook, practice these things daily, and watch your recruiting results just transform. In our next video, what we're going to do is we're going to tackle some of the most common objections you'll hear after these initial conversations and exactly how to address them. I hope you found great value here, and if so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone on your team who could use these skills. Drop a comment with your biggest insight or question about the initial conversation, and I'll respond to you. Okay? Till next time, see you in the next video. My name is Scott.